There are some big new 1099-K changes coming for reporting to be done in January 2023. There's been a lot of controversy around the 1099-K requirements new in 2022. So AP Now thought we'd address some of the basics. We'll explain what the 1099-K is and who will have to issue 1099-Ks. Stick around until the end when we address the big question on everyone's mind. Will accounts payable have to issue 1099-Ks this year? Hey guys, I'm Mary Schaefer, founder of AP Now, the place where you go for all the latest business intelligence you need if you work in, manage, or have responsibility for the accounts payable and or payment function. So let's get started with what I call our 1099-Ks FAQs, frequently asked questions. So question number one, what is a 1099-K? The IRS definition is as follows. The 1099-K is also referred to as the payment card and third-party network transactions, okay, and is the IRS information return used to report certain payment transactions to improve voluntary tax compliance, okay? That is the formal definition. If you're going to get a 1099-K, when will you receive the 1099-K? You should receive your form 1099-K by January 31st if, big if, in the prior calendar year, you received reportable payments, which of course leads to our next question. What kind of payments are reported on 1099-Ks? For returns for calendar years after 2021, i.e. transactions from January 1st, 2022 onward, gross payments for goods and services that exceed $600 and any number of transactions are reportable. Now, we make a big to-do about the $600 and any number of transactions because this is an increase from prior years when the level was $20,000 and 200 transactions. Because of the transaction requirement and the dollar level, many folks just never gave 1099-Ks a second thought because it wasn't going to impact them. But with the lowering of the threshold and no transaction limit, now all of a sudden this has become a bigger issue. So let's look at some common examples of 1099-Ks. The one that comes to mind right away and where this is most frequently used, although you'll see there's been an expansion, are in credit card transactions. So for example, AP Now's parent, Crystallis, gets a 1099-K from the bank that handles our credit card transactions for MasterCharge, Visa, and American Express. So when you come to our website and you pay for a membership, a webinar, a newsletter, and you pay with a credit card, the credit card issuer or the transaction gets reported back to AP Now so we can do an accurate tax return and pay taxes on that income, which we do. Okay, so credit card transactions, that was where it was for a while. And that's some common examples, but that definition has been expanded, if you will. So some examples of entities that are now required to issue 1099-Ks include PayPal, Square, Stripe, Venmo, and eBay. Now be aware, at this point, which is mid-December 2022, Zelle is saying this will not apply to them. Only time will tell how this is going to play out with the IRS. But as of when we're recording this, Zelle is saying, not them. Now, before we get to the million-dollar question about whether or not accounts payable has to issue 1099-Ks, if you like this episode, please give us a thumbs up. And if you love it, please subscribe. New content is uploaded to this channel 3 times a week. Accounts payable and payment broadcasts are on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and our Wordle strategy videos are on Saturday. And by the way, AP Now has longer form content, 1-hour webinars, 3-hour e-workshops, and a monthly newsletter available through our website, www.ap-now.com. A link is in the show notes below. Okay, moving right along. The question that's on many people's minds, does accounts payable have to issue 1099-Ks? We went to the IRS website where we got the answer to the question, do accounts payable departments fit the definition of a third-party settlement or organization? And again, straight from the IRS website, and I quote, no. In-house accounts payable departments do not fit the definition of third-party settlement organizations because they are not internal processes of payments. They are not a third party. So as of the point that we're recording this, no, accounts payable departments will not be issuing 1099-Ks for internal transactions. Now, as you know, 1099s can be a real source of concern for best practice organizations. No one wants penalty notices from the IRS. Everybody wants to produce a perfect 1099, if for no other reason to avoid IRS scrutiny, because let's face it, that's never a fun thing. So we had some tips on how you can do this in a short video that we recently released. You can watch it right now using a link that will appear momentarily on your YouTube screen and is in the show notes below. As always, we appreciate your thumbs up, your subscribes, your shares, and your comments. Good luck.